नमो तस्स भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स। नमो तस्स भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स। नमो तस्स भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स। बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि, धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि, संघं शरणं गच्छामि, द्वितीयंपि बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि, द्वितीयंपि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि, द्वितीयंपि संघं शरणं गच्छामि, तृतीयंपि बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि, तृतीयंपि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि, तृतीयंपि संघं शरणं गच्छामि। पाणातिपाता वीरमणि सिक्खापदं समाधियामि, अदिन्नदाना वीरमणि सिक्खापदं समाधियामि। कामेषु मिच्छाचारा वीरमणि सिक्खापदं समाधियामि। मूसावादा वीरमणि सिक्खापदं समाधियामि। सुरामेरयमज्जपमादठाणा वीरमणि सिक्खापदं समाधियामि। सब्बपापस्सकरणं कुशलस्य उपसम्पदा, सचित्तपर्योदपणम् एतं बुद्धानशासनं। साधु साधु साधु।
Namo Buddhaya, Jai Bhim. I welcome all of you to this Global Buddhist Congregation program on the eve of Ashad Purnima and Varshavas. Of course, today is a very sacred day for all of us. Today is Ashad Purnima, Asla Puja day. And all of us know that it was today that Lord Buddha gave his first sermon about Dhamma, that is Dhammacakka Pavatana Sutta to 5 Vaggeya Bhikkhu in Sarnath. And we have been seeing since yesterday, this is 3 days program. So since yesterday, we have been watching some of the great discourses by our venerable monks. And we have also just now seen that team, our GBC team, Global Buddhist Congregation team from Thailand, they have been working very hard, and we have just seen them on the screen now, all these videos, and in fact, May program also, and this program also has been possible because of the great teamwork which we have in Thailand, and also in India. Here also we have a big team. Now I would like to introduce to you the most respected speaker of this 3 days program, that is Venerable Professor Dr. Fra Rajapariyat Kavi. He was born in 1960 in Thai province of Buriram. He obtained his BA in Pali Studies from Sukhothai Thammatirath Open University, the MHD also. He is a main Buddhist study from Mahachula Longkorn Raj Vidyalaya. So where he did his PhD also, and he had a very extensive career in teaching in this university. This Mahachula Longkorn Raj Vidyalaya University is the biggest university in the world when it comes to teaching and training of the monks. And thousands of monks have passed, taken their degrees and passed through this university, and it is very well connected to all the Buddhist universities of the world. And many of good monks, they have started, they have passed out from this university and started the great work for propagation of Dhamma. Having said that, our present speaker, Dr. Fra Rajapariyat Kavi, is also, as I said, that he is a very learned Buddhist scholar, and he has written extensively. He has written on Nagarjuna, he has written on the great monk, he has written on Vinay Pitaka, and then he has also written on Majjhimapada of Theravada. He has been writing on Theravada as well as Mahayana Buddhism also. Today, he is a rector of Mahachula Longkorn Raj Vidyalaya in Bangkok, and he has been vice rector before this. Just to tell you, this rector is equivalent to a vice chancellor of university in India. And this position of rector of MCU, that is short form of Mahachula Longkorn Raj Vidyalaya, is really very, you get this position, you go to this position only when you are like one of those very few well-learned monks who have given their life for Dhamma. So Venerable Professor Dr. Fra Rajapariyat Kavi is one of them who has given his life for Dhamma propagation, and most importantly, teaching this Dhamma to new monks. And then they have been in the field. Many students are in the field now, working as a very good monks and helping in strengthening of Buddhist asana, not only in Thailand, but also in the world. This MCU, Mahachula Longkorn Raj Vidyalaya, was established in 1885, during 1885 to 87. During that time, you must be wondering about this name. So one of the great kings of Thailand, Chola Longkorn, he was very instrumental in building this university, and therefore this university gets that name of Mahachula Longkorn Raja Vidyalaya University. And they have many courses for 3 years, 4-year courses, for graduation, and they also have post-graduation as well as doctorate, PhD courses also there. One more thing about today's speaker, who is now rector of this Mahatula Longkorn Raj Vidyalaya since 2018. Earlier, he was vice rector of that. Is that this our most venerable Dr. Fra Rajapriya Kavi? He also had his education in Benares, that is in India also. So very well about India. He has quite a good respect. Of course, all the Buddhists in the world, they have respect about India because of Lord Buddha being born in India. And many of them, they come down to Bodh Gaya, they go to Sarnath, because these are the very sacred, Kushinara, Lumbini, these are very sacred places related with the birth of Buddha. I would say that you should also visit these sacred places and see what how these teachings of Buddha, where he gave those teachings, and how it has affected the whole world very positively today during this Corona crisis. I think Buddha's thoughts are very, very important. Having said that, I will not stretch more, but now we will listen to Venerable Professor Dr. Fra Rajapriya Kavi. I would now request the team to please start his discourse.
Respectable, Venerable Parapariyatikavi, please allow me to continue with the program. Greetings, the viewer at home. Today we are fortunate to have a chance to listen to the Dhamma discourse, which will be given by Venerable Parapariyatikavi, who is currently the rector of Mahachulalongkorn Raj Vidyalaya, or MCU in Thailand. He is also the assistant abbot of Wat Pak Nam Phasi Jalern and Thailand Pali scholar, which means he completed the Pali level 9. First of all, please allow me to say a little bit about Global Buddhist Congregation. Our organization is very honored to have the Venerable on our program. We have viewers in many countries. The organization is led by Dr. Harshdeep and Mrs. Rochana Wanit Kamle, who is based in India, and the volunteers in India. We have many Buddhist volunteers in India. In Thailand, the organizers are myself, Seum Suk Pathama Sathan, and Mrs. Apinya Jang Ariyawong. We are very honored, and because in a few days we will have Asaraha Pusha Day, it is a privilege to be hearing the Dhamma discourse from the most venerable. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Friend in the Dhamma, and dear orderly people, on the special occasion of the day closely to Asanha Puja Day, I would like to give the Dhamma talk to all the Buddhists all over the world. First of all, I'd like to give so much thanks to all the people who in charge of this activity, the activity of disseminating the Buddha Dhamma or the Buddha's teaching to other people all over the world. The special occasion of Asanha Puja Day, it is the special day for all the Buddhists, because we all, the Buddhists, know very well that on this occasion, it is regarded that the special occasion in which the Buddha delivered the first sermon called Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta to 5 main disciples led by พระอัญญาโกณทัญญา The important issue in this first sermon, we have know very well, but I like to give the main ideas of this first sermon. In the beginning, we have to trace back to the background of delivering this first sermon. From the times of renunciation, from the families of the Prince Siddhartha, after getting an ordination at the bank of Anoma River, he traveled from one place to another place and take a long journey from that point and travel passing through many places in India in those days. And finally, Prince Siddhartha came to Uruvela Sena Nikama, the center of the ascetics. Many kinds of ascetics or recluse, they come to Uruvela Sena Nikama for the purpose of practicing yoga. The yoga and the ancient word in those days. But according to Buddhism, we can say meditation. It is not clear that the kind of meditation, it is insight meditation or tranquility meditation. But in those days, we like to call yoga. Many groups of the recluse come to Uruvela Sena Nikama to practice yoga. The top purpose or objective, ultimate, the final objects of practicing this yoga is moksha, liberation. As we have known that the two kinds of practicing yoga in those days, there are two kinds. The first one is Kamasukhalika no yoga in Pali, or say in English that self-indulgence. In sexual affair, self-indulgence, and self-mortification or Attakilamatthana yoga. May I say in Pali better, Kamasukhalika no yoga and Attakilamatthana yoga. These are two kinds of practicing the yoga in those days. Prince Siddhartha come to this place and learn how to practice the yoga for many years, 6 years. Try this way and that way, and learn how to practice of various groups of ascetics, and create the connection, the good connection, relationship with many groups of ascetics in those days. At the same time, he himself practiced, create connection, and learn from each other. And finally, after 6 years of trying many ways of practice, he had got an enlightenment or reached Anuttara Samma Sampodhiyana in Pali language. Get an enlightenment. And then he traveled to Banaras. Isipatanamikatha Yavana in Banaras, and give the first sermon, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, to the 5 ascetics or Panchavakkiya, led by Anya Kontanya. So the main concept in Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta related to the 2 kinds of practicing Kamasukhalika no yoga and Attakilamatthana yoga. And then the middle way, Majjhima Patipatha. As for 2 kinds of practicing Kamasukhalika no yoga and Kilamathan Yoga is license or in practicing meditation which the Buddha had practiced before, tried before. He might try to both method and learn very well both method. Collect the experience in both method to screen out the best way or the best method and apply for his own practice. That result in catching and enlightenment. The important issue is the meaning of middle way or Majjhima Patipatha. From where Majjhima Patipatha come? Before giving the answer to this question, I like to talk about the good traditions of the ascetics in those days. As we all know very well that the ancient tradition of the Indian people in those days, there are 4 ashramas: Brahmachari, Kharuhat, Vanaprat, and Sannyasi. They have 4 stages of their lives like this: Brahmachari, Kharuhat, Vanaprat, and Sannyasi. So in daily lives of each people, mostly they follow step by step the 4 stages of their lives like this. So there must be the rule and regulation specifically for the people who renunciated from their family to become Vanaprasthita and finally Sannyasi to become the ascetics or recluse. As for rule and regulation specifically for those ascetics, I think that there are 2 levels or 2 kinds of the rule and regulations. The first one is precept or sila. As we have seen in Brahmacharya Sutta, there are 3 levels of sila or precept. Chula sila or the minor sila. Majjhima sila or the middle sila. And Maha sila or the great precept. Or we can say in English that the minor precept, middle precept, and great precept. Chula sila Maha Sila, Majjhima Sila. 3 levels of precept can be called in Sila or precept for ascetics, especially for ascetics. So those ascetics follow these kinds of Sila. This is the good tradition for them, rule and regulation for them. This is the first one. The second one is yoga, or in Buddhism we say meditation, kammadhana in Pali. So usually they practice, they observe the Sila or precepts. They practice yoga or meditation in their daily routine. The Buddha also practice like this. Talking about only how to practice yoga or meditation, as I have said that there are 2 kinds, Kamasukhalika and Attakilamathanuyoga. Siddhartha Gautama also practiced. But after expertise in this way, after collecting more experiences in practicing by this way, he tried to apply and create the new one we can call innovation of practicing. It might be, it might come from Kamasukhalika Nuyoga a little bit. I mean that some parts of practicing may come from Kamasukhalika Nuyoga method. Some parts of practicing may come from Attakilamathanuyoga. And then combine into the middle way or Majjhima Patipatha. It may be like this. So, in the beginning, there are 2 kinds of good tradition, Sila or precept, and yoga or meditation. Or we can say in Pali, according to Buddhist language, that Sila and Samadhi, Ati Sila, Ati Citta, the same meaning. So after getting more experience in this way, Siddhartha Gautama create the new one, innovation. Siddhartha Gautama add Panya or insight meditation inside that. So from 2 kinds of good tradition, from Sila and Samadhi, we have one more, Panya or insight meditation. So we have 3-4 training in Buddhism, Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. or Ati Sila, Ati Ajita, Ati Panya. Precept, concentration, and wisdom. This is the middle way of practicing, or we can call the innovation method of practicing meditation according to Buddhism. We have the threefold training. Siddhartha Gautama practiced threefold training and finally get an enlightenment and travel to Isipatana Nikatayavana near Banaras and give the first sermon of Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta to the five ascetics led by Anya Kontanya. So we have seen clearly that the main concept or the main idea in Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, inside that we have seen two kinds of practicing in those days, Kama Sukhalika Yoga and Atta Kilamatthana Yoga, and then develop into threefold training or Trisikha, Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. And we can call in the short word that Majjhima Patipatha. And sometimes we include the noble eightfold path. Noble eightfold path. Right view, right thought, right livelihood, right concentration, something like that. 8 kinds of the right thing. Sometimes we include noble eightfold path into threefold training. The threefold training is Majjhima Patipatha. Majjhima Patipatha or threefold training have been regarded that the best way of training our lives, as appear in Mahasatipatthana Sutta, that Ekayano Ayang Bhikkhave Makho Sattanang Visuddhiya, etc. This is the best way, the only one way for purification of all living beings, etc. The main doctrine in Mahasatipatthana Sutta can be concluded in the threefold training. Or there are, we can include every way of training our lives into threefold trainings. Because it is the best way and the only one way. Some people belong to other religions. They may follow any other way to train themselves. But ultimately, we can summarize or conclude in threefold training. Even in daily routine of the lay people, it's not only the daily routine of monks and novices. They work in the big company, in the office, when they like to train themselves, physical training or mental training. They use the way of threefold training only. But the name of that method may not be Sila, Samadhi, or Panya. They may call the method in any other name. It doesn't matter. Talking only about Buddhist tradition in this matter. The scope of contents or the meanings of Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. Talking only about the Buddhist tradition regarding how to practice according to threefold training, Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Sila cover very many dimensions of our behavior or our lives. When we say Sila, it is not only about the rule and regulation in Buddhism. We do not just mean the 5 precepts, 8 precepts, 10 precepts, or 227 precepts. We do not mean just only Panatipata, Veramani, Sikkhapattang, Samadhiyami. We mention 4 dimensions of our daily routine. The first one is the 5 precepts, 8 precepts, 10 precepts, etc. This one can be called Sila also. The second dimension is mean the good manner of the mental physical action. Maybe cover the mental action also. We say the polite word. We go, we sit down, we stand up in the good manner. We set up ourselves in polite manner, the good position. This can be called Sila also. We manage the time for our lives in the right method. For 24 hours a day, we may divide into 3 parts or 4 parts for our lives. How many hours for working? How many hours for enjoy ourselves? How many hours for taking a rest or sleeping? Something like that. So we divide 24 hours into 3 parts, 4 parts suitable for us. We manage the time for our lives like this. This can be called sila also. This is the third dimension. The fourth dimension of sila, it means how to use the money to consume the consumer goods in the right manner. For example, we work and earn 100 baht. We divide into 3 or 4 parts. Divide into 2 or 3 pockets. Not put in one pocket and use 100 for everything. Not like that. We have to be well disciplined in spend the money. And whenever we use the money, we spend the money. We spend for the real value, not artificial value, for the necessary thing. This can be called sila also. So when we say sila, it means 4 dimensions of our lives. So for the people who like to train themselves, first one, they have to follow, observe sila, covering 4 dimensions like this. From completely observing, practicing or following the sila like this, we will get the benefits of the sila. We can get rid of worriness. First of all, we have non-worriness. We will get the rapture, serenity, mental peacefulness, and happiness. From these benefits, our mind will be concentrated automatically. Concentrated mind or samadhi citta come from observing the sila like this. It's not just practicing the sila and we have got samadhi. We can see that from sila up to samadhi, from precept to concentration, it is the long way. So we have to get the comprehension of practicing of the sila first. And then step by step. For some time, after some time, practicing, observing sila every day, covering 4 dimensions, and as I have said, we will have non-worriness. We will have the rapture, serenity, peacefulness, happiness. And then concentrated mind will happen automatically. In those days also, the Lord Buddha he himself observed the precepts, follow 4 dimensions of the sila, and had got the benefits of the sila, as I have said. And then he had got the fully concentration. But in his opinion, he thought that just concentration might not be able to get rid of the defilements. It means that he could not get fully enlightenment, Anuttara Samma Sampodhiyana. So he himself used concentration as the foundation or the basis for going further. For further practicing, in reality, he never took the additional method, any method. He just looked inside himself, consider the 5 aggregates of Panchakantha. This is the basic factor. It is the basic factor of our life. Matter, feeling, perception, mental formation, and consciousness. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, and Vijnana. He took into consideration of these 5 aggregates deliberately, deeply, again and again, and look inside these 5 aggregates, observing closely all the time. And he saw that, or got inside that. These 5 aggregates work interrelated with each other. An more important issue, they arise, got duration a little bit, and destructed. Upata, titi, panka. In the circle, all the time. It means that these five aggregates are under the law of three characteristics: impermanence, non-stability, and selflessness. Anicca, tukkha, anatta. Aniccaṃ, tukkhaṃ, anatta. Arising, duration, destruction, upata, titi, pankha. And then upata, titi, pankha. Upata, titi, pankha. In circle like this. So after observing for a long time, he have got insights of wisdom. This is insight meditation or panya, wisdom. So use concentration or samadhi as the basis of foundation. Look inside ourselves. Consider the nature of five aggregates again and again for a long time, every time, every moment like this. We will have insights automatically. So insight meditation can happen all the time, all the place, all the action. So when we say insight meditation, the meaning of insight meditation is the same as the meaning of wisdom or panya, vipassana or panya. This is the top one of threefold training: sila, samadhi, panya. Insight meditation not only monks and novices can practice, and not only the people who go to special place, to the temple or the specific area, specific retreat can practice. They can practice everywhere, every time. Even though we are working, when we are working, the angry feeling happen in our mind. We just take a break for a few minutes and consider our feeling. We are having anger, and consider the nature of our mind or consciousness. One facet of the five aggregates. Now we have angry feeling. After some time, it will disappear. But to make it disappear soon, we have to consider the nature of our consciousness. Aniccang, dukkhaṃ, anattā. When we have anger at something or some people, suppose we call that people that Mr. Somsak. Which part of that man can be called Somsak? His hair, his skin, his arm, his leg. In reality, there is no part of that man called Somsak. It's just the five aggregates come together. And the nature of five aggregates: arising, duration, destruction, upada, titipanka, all the time. So by considering like this, we can get rid of the anger automatically. Soon. This way can be called insight meditation. We are practicing insight meditation. So insight meditation is a very easy way for us. We can train ourselves every moment of our daily routine by practicing the threefold training like this. As for Sila, we can observe all the time also. When we have enough time, we have enough free time, we may go to the temple. We may participate in Buddhist ceremony and take a while to observe the precept in the front of the monks. In our daily routine, we can take mental while to observe the precept by ourselves, no problem. And in our daily routine, we have to set up our action, mental action, verbal action, physical action in the polite manner. And we manage 24 hours a day in the right method. And we use the money and consume the consumer goods for the right purpose. We train ourselves by observing, practicing the Sila like this. And then from Sila, we will have the concentration or the concentrated mind. And we can use the concentration to be the foundation for taking into consideration of our lives. Consider the five aggregates all the time like this. So by practicing like this, we will have the strength in our lives physical strength, spiritual strength. In Buddhism, we call 4 kinds of cultivation Jatupavana, covering physical, mental, social, wisdom, dimension, like this. So the 5, the 3-fold trainings. It is the best way, the effective way for training ourselves. 3-fold training come from the specific experience of the Lord Buddha. The Lord Buddha has the good experience in practicing the yoga, many kinds of yogas or meditation in those days. And after getting more experience, he innovated the new one by adding one more method, panya or insight meditation, to the former one, sila, yoga or samadhi, and then we have panya. So nowadays we have 3-fold training. This is the main idea or the main doctrine in the first sermon or Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, which the discourse delivered firstly by Siddhartha Gautama to the 5 ascetics led by Anya Kontanya. So I like all the Buddhists may be covering all the people all over the world should learn the methods of training ourselves, following the main doctrine of Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, or in clear-cut word, the 3-fold training, the middle way, Majjhima Patipatha. It is not complicated way. Just observe and practice the sila, practice concentration or samadhi, and practice insight meditation or panya by various ways. It's up to you to pick up which way suitable for you. To train ourselves, to make ourselves self-disciplined, to make ourselves strong for ourselves, covering mental, spiritual, or and physical strength. It can make us the most effective person who develop our wisdom to the topmost level. It makes us to be able to solve all the problems happening in our daily routine. May you all blessed with the happiness, prosperities, peacefulness, and successfulness forever.